Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mario Pedro Gould. You are now tuned into the Alpha Success Television Network. And today I would like us to explore a very fundamental, important question that could have a significant impact on your development as a human being, on your prosperity, on your success, on your spiritual development, on your emotional development, on your physical development. You say, Mario, what is this very important topic that you would like to discuss with us? Let me begin the discussion today by encouraging you to pose a question to your unconscious mind, to your subconscious mind. The question I would like you to pose to your unconscious mind goes something like this. Ask yourself this question today, tomorrow, week in, week out, month in, month out. The question goes something like this. What is this environment? What is the impact of this environment that I'm placing myself in on my development? How is this environment impacting my spiritual development? How is this environment impacting my physical development? How is this environment impacting my emotional development, my prosperity, my success? These people that I'm hanging around, spending majority of my time with, these places that I'm going when I have free time, how is this impacting the direction that I'm going in my life? It's a very important question, ladies and gentlemen. It's an important question because majority of the time, if you will be honest with yourself, you will discover that majority of the time you find yourself in places that are not very conducive to your development in life. You find yourself hanging around a certain group of people that are not helping you get what you want out of life. So how do we shake this syndrome? Perhaps it's a good time for me to use an example, and then we'll see if we can come up with a solution to this. I have a friend of mine here in the city of Vancouver. He's a successful businessman. He owns a restaurant and he's very well connected in the city of Vancouver. And he's an outgoing, charismatic, gregarious individual that is always, either throwing parties or either is in the middle of a party or knows, where the party scene is happening in Vancouver. So for the past 2 years, since I moved to the West Coast, he's always invited me out, through Facebook to come out to certain parties that are happening in Vancouver. And for one reason or another, I was either too busy or I just didn't feel like going, so I just never went. So for 2 years he's been inviting me, and I always say no. Last week he actually issued me another invitation to a closing out party for a restaurant, and I said, okay, it doesn't hurt. Let me go and check out what this guy is up to. It's not going to hurt me one day. And this was a difficult decision for me to make because I always have made it a habit to go to bed by 10:30 p.m. So I find that when I stay longer than 10:30 p.m. or if I'm out doing something, it kind of just messes up with my whole rhythm. I like getting up to meditate in the morning. So I said, you know what, I'm going to give it this one day and I'll just go and see what's going on, connect with some people in the city. And it was interesting. I had a very interesting experience. On my way to the party, that was starting at 9 p.m. On my way to this party, right next door to the party I was going to, a couple of blocks, there was a dancing hall, a salsa dancing hall. Okay, a liquor-free salsa dancing hall. So I said, hey, you know what? I've been thinking about taking salsa classes, so let me just go up here and get, a brochure and put it in my pocket, and maybe I can do some salsa lessons in the near future. So I ran upstairs, I got my brochure, and then I ran back out and I started heading towards this party. I was probably about 15-20 minutes late by this time, and I walked into the party that my friend invited me to. I walked into the party, and a very interesting thing happens, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very sensitive to energy, the energy that's around me, the energy of people that I'm interacting with. So when I walk into this space, I immediately, when I took off my jacket and gave it to the coat check, I immediately felt my spirit, my soul say, Mario, you do not belong here. Get out of here. So what was happening in the environment that made my soul send me those messages? When I walked into the establishment, immediately I seen everybody was lined up, at the bartender's table. Everybody's fighting to try and get liquor. Hey, give me this, give me Patron, give me Hennessy, give me this. And it was a very interesting sight. And then on the other side, I could see people gluttoniously eating food, that is not helping them, unhealthy food. So I was feeling very, very uncomfortable because I was feeling like I was totally out of my element. And I said, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom and come back and just see what's going on. And I go to the bathroom and I come back and there's some ladies sitting down on a chair, and normally I would just go down and sit and start talking to the women. But even at that time, I felt like I don't want to be talking to these women right here. They're busy getting drunk. They're obviously not taking care of themselves. So this is not an environment that I want to be in. So I felt the energy in the room was an energy of a low vibration. And I said, you know what, to hell with this, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. So this is something that you need to pay attention to. Look at where you're hanging out. Look at what the majority of the people are doing. The majority of the people are drinking, a majority of people are smoking, a majority of people eating junk food, a majority of people talking about topics that are not conducive to your development in life. You have to really pay attention to these things because these things are very important. Your environment has got an impact on how you think. You record all these messages and they come into your mind, and you start behaving like what's happening outside of you. So needless to say, I decided to walk out of this establishment and I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to go back to, the dance hall, where they were teaching salsa. So it's funny, I went in there, and I started taking salsa lessons, at about 9:30 at night. They don't sell any liquor, and I started meeting very interesting people. I'd meet someone that's come from Mexico to study English. I met a very beautiful, fit lady from Thailand that is a successful businesswoman. There's no alcohol in the environment. I could immediately feel, the positive vibe, the vibrations was lifting up my spirit. And, we're dancing, learning new skills. So my mind is getting exercise. And like I said, I always go to bed at 10:30. But when I got to this salsa dance hall, I had such a beautiful time. I stayed there until 11:30, meeting new people, making new friends, successful people. There was engineers, there was business people in there, and everybody was happy. They were not taking alcohol to release stress. They came to share their joy with everybody, in the salsa dancing. So my experience in this place was very impactful in that when I left, I felt like I had been replenished. My life source was feeling rejuvenated, and I made a decision to actually take up, salsa dancing classes. So I want you to watch the environments that you're in and ask yourself the question, is this environment conducive to your spiritual upliftment, like I felt in the salsa room? Is this environment beneficial to, making good relationships that can help you in the future? I felt that I was meeting people from all over the world that are progressing in life. Is it good for you physically? There was no alcohol. We were dancing and walking out. And that's what I discovered about the environment. So that's the question that I wanted to pose to you. Ask yourself, what is the impact of the environment that you're placing yourself on? Now, what is the impact on you from the environment that you're placing yourself in? And then the next thing is, well, if I've been staying in a wrong environment, Mario, well, how do I get into staying into the right environment? I think the most important thing that you have to do in your life, and I do it all the time, is to clarify very clearly where you want to be. So I know where I want to be spiritually. I know where I want to be in terms of my bank account. I know where I want to be in terms of my physical game. I know what kind of women I would like to meet. I know what kind of business associates I'd like to interact with. Once you have that picture of what it is that you want in your life, then automatically look for organizations, events, environments that are conducive to moving you closer to what you have said is most important to you. So ladies and gentlemen, as always, I am wishing you a prosperous day. Go out there and place yourself in an environment that is going to send you to the land of your dreams. Have a great day.